was the night before leagues. Hey all, so I just wanted to make at least a quick video kind of talking about what my plans are for the leagues. I'm here at my parents' house for Thanksgiving week, so I've got a little bit of a scuffed setup with my laptop here. I feel like this is the British getting revenge for the revolution to release leagues the day before Thanksgiving, but I'm still planning on trying to play as much as I can. My goal is to try and get into an AFK activity ASAP so I can kind of play on my phone in the background while we hang out with family. But we'll see how that goes. So I've decided on my regions are going to be Varlamore, Mauritania, and Taranwin. Varlamore is such a great first region for this because I can get the item off of the Amoxyatl as a little starter weapon, then move on to go to Perilous Moons, grab the full Blood Moon set, and then I'm pretty set for a lot of melee training going forward. Varlamore early game especially is just kind of meant for melee, between the Perilous Moons being weak against melee, the Huey Coatl, and the Amoxyatl, and then eventually coming back for Vardorvis and Sol. Varlamore is great because I can also buy from the gem shop an infinite stack of sapphires and emeralds, and then the Varlamore shop also has uncut rubies, so I can buy unlimited rubies, sell them back after being cut for more money than the uncut pays for, and I'll be able to make pretty much all the money I need, so that'll give me my early starter cash as well as some great crafting XP. Moving on to Mauritania, I'll be able to move into getting full Darox, which looks really fun this leagues. And then, of course, Theater of Blood, which has the best drop rates for raids. So hopefully I'll be able to pull out a scythe there. But if I don't, there's plenty of other great melee options. The Noxious Halberd is also waiting for me there. So if I happen to go dry on a mega rare, then all is not lost. That's one of the biggest pitfalls some people fall into, is going dry on a mega rare. I was initially planning on going full Justiciar tank build with a T-bow. I thought that would be a lot of fun while still doing Varlamore and swapping Taranwin for Fremnik. But I just think that build relies a little too much on a twisted bow. I could still wield dragon darts, but the thing that melee stands out with is there's so many different weapons that I can use. And the weapon progression just seems very intuitive. You know, once I get full Darox, for example, and I can have Noxus Halberd, I could also go back to Vardorvis and farm out a Soul Reaper axe. After that, going to Taranwin, getting the full crystal armor, which in the leagues is better than full Torva. Hunlif just sounds like a really fun fight too. I haven't done Hunlif in a long time since I got the Bofa and the Blade of Saildor on my Iron Man. I just haven't been back, and I think with the Echo version has the potential to be just a lot of fun, especially because you get to skip the prep phase. So I'm trying to capitalize on that, and then rounding it out by going back to face Echo Soul in Varlamore. Just sounds like a ton of fun. I love the Soul fight. It's my favorite fight in the game by far. And then the Sunlight Spear, going melee allows me to take that from a 5-tick to a 2-tick weapon. So I can just kind of have fun with that, test it out, see how it is. Being able to attack every 2 ticks and build up those stacks, you know, might be fun. Maybe it won't be fun, but melee just gives me so many options. Whereas I felt like range was more DPS in a lot of circumstances. It felt like kind of more boring. So I think melee just has a ton more options, a ton more weapons to have fun with. I will be putting my 3 other points into ranged, and because I'm going Taranwin, I'll have access to the Toxic Blowpipe, which will turn into a 1-tick Blowpipe still, with the 3rd relic in range tier. I'll also have a Bow of Faradin for, in particular, Zuck, which will be a 3-tick Bofa, and I'll have the Crystal Armor ready to go. It'll be kind of interesting too, because I can just equip the full Crystal Armor with, say, a Scythe, and then just swap to the Bofa whenever I need to ranged, and I won't even have to do that many gear swaps. I was thinking I'll probably just throw 1 point into Mage to help me train up magic, because I don't really see a situation where I would need healing from the tier 4 of ranged. So getting into my relic choices, I want to put a couple disclaimers. I generally prioritize AFK activities more than maybe what's the best. I also prioritize point in most situations. So last year I got 60,000 points, which is about 4,000 more than Dragon Trophy, and I ended up in rank 1645. So this year I would really like to get to probably top 500, and I looked up last year's top 500, ended at about 69,000 points. So I'm shooting for probably 70,000 points. Last year, rank 1 got 91,000 points. So there's still 20,000 points of tasks I don't have to worry about, but getting a lot of these 50 mil XP tasks out of the way gives you so many points. So some of my relics will be focused on getting 50 million and won't benefit the average player. And then I might make some changes depending on what I see. I'll be watching what other people start doing, and if emerging strategies come out, then I'll be paying attention to those and make adjustments accordingly. But these are just my initial thoughts as of this moment. So for tier 1, I'm going to choose Animal Wrangler. I was honestly initially thinking the mining smithing one would be really good. With Taranwin, I'm not worried about smithing at all because I can do both Volcano as well as is take my crystal shards and make a ton of crystal armor seeds over and over again to get 50 mil smithing immediately. And then for Varlamore, it's really good to have guaranteed traps go on all the hunter rumors. For tier number 2, I'm definitely taking dodgy deals. Between Mauritania thieving blood shards and Taronwyn thieving crystal teleport seeds and crystal shards, it's just going to be way too strong. And I just hate thieving. I've mentioned it in my previous video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much more. Tier 3, obviously taking the clue compass. Something cool in Mauritania specifically is you can get the clue step to talk to the old man on top of the barrows and then teleport to him to start your barrows run and then dig in the 5 brothers and then teleport down to the stash unit at the bottom of barrows. So you can just teleport back and forth with just that. So you don't even need total recall to be able to teleport in and out of barrows. So like lots of people, I'm going reloaded. However, unlike lots of people, I'm going to actually take the agility relic. Before anyone thinks about flaming me, in the rank 1 chat, Mazhar himself, who's a rank 1 contender, said going the agility relic will save you like 30 hours, which is an enormous amount of time in leagues. And I took Trickster last year, so running around the whole time, giving me agility XP, and I only ended up with 25 million XP. So the boots by far save the most time, and I would not recommend most people go for them. Most people are going to be plenty happy getting 99 agility. Tier 5, I'm definitely going the Slayer one. It just seems like the most fun. I don't know if it's mathematically the best one to go. And this may change depending on if there actually is a lot of treasure rewards, then maybe I might feel forced to go Treasure Seeker. I think technically for points, the treasure one is probably the best one, but the Slayer one just sounds awesome. Especially me being in Mauritania, I'll have access to a Slayer helmet and being on task for everything, just being able to run around and get whatever I want. It feels like that would make 50 million Slayer XP so easy to get. I'll keep an eye out on this one over the next couple of days when they release the tasks lists, though. Mod Arcane did say that they're reducing the amount of points associated with treasure trails. Historically, it's been almost required to take this treasure one just because there's so many points. But since there's a little less this year, I'm hoping the Slayer will be an okay choice. But I'm just probably going to take it because it sounds like fun. For the next one, I'm of course taking Banker's Note. If you're going for ranks or points or anything, it's pretty troll to take anything besides Banker's Note, in my opinion. But please take Total Recall if you think it's going to be more fun. I think for a lot of people, it might be certain situations where you might have a lot of fun. Say if you have a dog sword, especially, or taking Wilderness with the Corpesh and doing all those non-instanced bosses. Tier 7, I'm almost certain I'm going to take Overgrown. Overgrown is great, mostly for the seed saved. And that takes care of my farming and herblore issues from not taking the forager from before, and I will be fine without the extra prayers. The Procket Kingdom is good for the amount of supplies that you get, but the way I see it is Kingdom takes care of herblore for you, whereas Overgrown takes care of herblore and farming. And then the last one, I'm going to take Last Stand, most likely. It just seems like fun, especially to play around with Darox in particular, and going melee and getting a full set of Darox. I'm excited to try and test it out to see the biggest number I can possibly get with the echoes. So I'll keep you guys posted for the biggest number. And that does it for my relics. Let me know what you guys are doing now that all of the tiers have been revealed. Yeah, I'm so stoked for leagues starting on Wednesday. Subscribe if you want to follow my Journey to Dragon Trophy series. Like I said, I'm probably try and go for top rank 500. If not 500, then I'll be happy with top 1000. So we'll see you guys with my first update video after the league starts.